my name is Raquel McAfee, for those of you who don't know me. I'm a certified personal trainer, a certified fitness instructor, and I have my master's degree in exercise sports science. But more importantly, I am a mom of 3, and I myself suffered diastasis recti in both of my pregnancies. So I had a single pregnancy with my daughter, and then 2.5 years later, I had twins. And as you can imagine, it wreaked havoc on my abdominal muscles. So what I want to share with you today is what exercises I did and did not do to help get my abs back in shape. I just want to encourage you that yes, you can heal your abs. Yes, it takes time, but with proper education and nutrition, you can get back to where you want to be. So first things first, I want to show with you how to test to see if you have separation of the abdominal muscles, because first you need to know what kind of issues we're working with and how severe your problem is. So what you're going to want to do is go ahead and lay down on the ground like in a crunch position, knees bent, hands behind your head. I'm going to walk you through it. So in this crunch position, again, your hands are going to be behind your head, at least one hand. I want you to put your fingers at about right at your belly button or a little bit underneath. You are going to go ahead and lift the shoulder blades up off the floor and crunch up. If you have ab separation, what you're going to notice is one of two things. One, you're going to feel an actual hole in your where your belly button is. It can be 2 fingers deep, it can be 3, depending on the severity. That is one option. The other option that could happen, and I had it different in both pregnancies, is that you'll get a little TP. It's like this little, the cutest little TP that you never wanted on your abs. It will puff up as you crunch. And that is also an indication that you are struggling with ab separation. So hopefully doing that test gave you an indication of whether or not you have diastasis recti. I will also tell you one of the telltale signs is you still look about, for me, I look like I was 4 months pregnant way after giving birth. I had lower back pain. A lot of times it can cause hernias, but so you just want to make sure that you test for it to see where you are and you can know how to improve it. Next thing I want to talk to you about is exercises to avoid. Now again, I said you're going to seem like you're 4 months pregnant still, even after giving birth and time has passed. And a lot of women think, okay, I'm just going to crunch my way to better abs. And actually that's one of the worst exercises you can do when trying to heal your ab muscles. So one exercise to avoid, any regular like crunches or sit-ups, just don't do them. Another thing to avoid is planks. So when you're in that plank position that causes a lot of intra-abdominal pressure, you're gonna want to avoid those as well. Any sort of torso rotation and twisting, again, causing that extra pressure, that's gonna actually cause more damage as well. So those are 3 exercises that you absolutely want to avoid. Now, a question I get a lot is how do I feel about those belly bands, those corsets, those wraps that you see women wearing? Now, you're gonna get mixed reviews and opinions, but I'm gonna share what worked for me and in my experience. So immediately after giving birth, I did wear what was called a belly bandit, and I wore it 24/7 for the first 6 weeks after giving birth. Then, once I started easing my way back into exercise, I wore it when I was going to work out because my abs were so weak. I didn't have a lot of lower back strength. I couldn't do other lifts, so I wore it as I eased myself back into fitness. Again, the one I use is called the Belly Bandit. You can get it off Amazon, but you can decide for yourself whether or not that's gonna work for you. For my experience, it was great and I absolutely needed it. So now I want to give you some of my favorite exercises that I did in place of those crunches and sit-ups and those normal core exercises that you see that helped me really pull my abs back in and heal. So the first thing first is I would stand or kneel, it didn't really matter, but I would make like a little triangle shape with my hands and place it over my belly button. And from here, I would think about pulling in my belly button in towards my spine. Kind of like if you've ever put your jeans in the dryer and they've kind of shrunk and you lay on the bed and you kind of have to like squeeze to fit in them, that's what I want you to think about. So I would do this and I would pull in and breathe out. Pull in. Okay, so I would do that sets of 10 and I would do them throughout the day. I will tell you it is a deceptively challenging exercise. It looks very easy, but when you're struggling to get your abs in, sets of 10 were tough for me. So like I said, I would just sprinkle them in throughout the day. So again, that was slow and controlled, pulling that belly button in towards your spine and releasing. You can stand, you can kneel, or you can even lay on the floor. I'll show you that in a second. So those were slow and controlled. I would also do the same exercise and I would try to kind of pulse. So same thing, pulling that belly button to the spine, and I would just try to pulse as much as I can. These are great exercises even now that are really gonna work the deep ab muscles, the transverse abdominis. That's gonna really help to strengthen and pull them back together. So the next exercise requires that you lay down on the floor. So same thing in that normal bent knee position. You want to again think about pulling in that belly button towards your spine. So really think about pulling it down into the ground. Okay, deep breath in. And what I would do is I would do heel slides. So one leg at a time, pulling that belly button in, I would slowly slide my heel out and back in. If you have gliding discs or paper plates even, this is a great exercise to put a paper plate at the bottom of your heel. I would extend only until I felt like my abs couldn't be pulled in. If I felt like I was kind of slouching, I would bring it back in because you don't want to extend too far and then you lose that contraction in your abdominal muscles. The next exercise I did is also in this laying down position, and I would call them heel drops. So again, pulling that belly button in towards your spine, and from here I would just gently drop one heel, again keeping that contraction and lifting up. Slow and controlled is the name of the game. Now in the beginning, I could truly only go here before I felt like my abs were just not being able to hold that contraction, and that's okay. Go to that point and lift up. I think I forgot to mention in the last video, but really sets of 10 is the name of the game. If you can work your way up to 3 sets of 10, great. But again, take it slow. It takes time to heal, so give your tummy and your abs some grace. So those were the top 3 exercises I did every single day to help bring my abs back together. I'll tell you, a lot of times I did them while laying in bed, right upon waking before I got out of bed or right before I went to sleep at night. So just know those are some great times to do it, and if you stay consistent and continue to work them over time, I know you can get to where you want to be. One other thing that I must mention is that nutrition is key as well. You can be healing your abs and getting them toned and lean and where you want to be, but if you have a layer of fat over them, as women, that's where we tend to carry our weight, you won't be able to see your abdominals. So nutrition is so key. If you are somebody who needs extra help in your fitness or your nutrition, that is my area of expertise, and I would be honored to help you. Working with mamas is my passion. I feel like this is what God has put me on this earth to do. So if that is you, please don't hesitate to reach out. I would love to help you get set up with a program that's realistic for your busy lifestyle as a mom so that you can start looking and feeling your best again. Thank you so much for watching, and please let me know if you have any questions.